Going on, guys? Captain Richard Hajecki, and I am on the boat today, moving it up west, and I wanted to go over a few of the settings on our Humminbird Solix that we have paired with an Airmar dual frequency 600 watt transducer. This transducer has been around for many years, especially in the Great Lakes. It's a proven transducer and they are pretty cost effective. What you're getting is like I said, a dual frequency, a low and a high frequency. 50 kilohertz is your low side, 200 kilohertz is your high side. You'll notice when you're cruising around at higher speeds, your high frequency is going to show you much more. Your low frequency is going to kind of get real snowy and hard to read. And then when you're trolling, you're going to notice your low frequency is going to mark your downrigger balls and fish better than your high frequency will. It's a much wider cone angle. So I'm going to head over to the Solix. We'll turn the camera around. I'll go over a few things in the setup that I think that you need to know about, and then hopefully we'll mark some fish on here as well while we're talking. So I'm going to turn the camera around. So first things first, this is our Solix, and you'll see there's some things up here on the top of the unit. Here you can go in here and you can change the frequency. What I tell a lot of people to do is put it on a dual frequency screen so you can see them side by side and kind of interpret what each frequency will do for you. Next one over is your switch fire mode. We tend to run that in max mode. Your various color palettes, you can choose whatever works for you. And then this is a zoom setting over here, but let's go into the settings. We'll take a look at some of the settings we run. So we'll hit the home button, go over to settings. You'll see up here on the top, chirp sonar. When you go into sonar source, these are not going to recognize a dual frequency Airmar transducer. So when you're setting these up, you're going to have to take the auto configuration off and manually set this transducer up. Select the frequency. As you can see right here, we've got an Airmar dual frequency. So you go in there and you select that transducer and set it up. Next, you want to come down here and make sure you turn 2D chirp off. This is not a chirp transducer. Chirping through it could potentially hurt your transducer, so you'll turn that off and you'll notice you've got your two frequencies here, low and high. That's pretty much it, guys. Once you do that, you go back to this screen right here and it's game on. So what I'm going to do is, right now we're trolling. I got both engines in gear. Trolling a little fast, but that's 4 miles an hour. Hopefully we can see some fish coming on the screen here. We missed a few earlier. I'm going to kick the engine RPMs up and start to cruise. And you're going to notice how the low frequency is going to start to get real cluttered. But your high frequency is going to stay easily visible to see bottom. Under 20 miles an hour, marking bait and marking some fish on the high frequency side shouldn't be an issue. But you'll notice how your low frequency side, as soon as you start giving it some RPMs and moving a little faster, it's going to start to get real fuzzy. So we'll bring it back down here to idle. Let's see if we can't mark some fish on here and see what it looks like on the two different frequencies. I'll tell you what, we're going to come back. I'm going to idle here for a minute. We're kind of just out in the middle of nowhere. You can see we've got real cold water out here. There's some lake trout out here and a few salmon, but not enough to keep the video rolling. So I will cut back in when I've got a decent screen going, and we will talk some more about this transducer. Alright guys, so we're back to show the update. So you'll notice low frequency, and you can see down here it says 50 kilohertz. High frequency, 200 kilohertz. You can see we've got a few fish down there on the bottom. A nice hook. We're going a little fast, that's why the hooks are a little tight. We're trolling around 4 miles an hour, which is faster than we typically fish. But over here on the high frequency, you've got just a blip here. So it just goes to show you how each frequency reads a little differently. On the 200 kilohertz side, though, you can notice a few things down here on the bottom. Those could potentially be fish really tight to the bottom. Again, we've got another fish coming on the screen here, laying on the bottom. This is what it looks like on the high frequency side. So, if you're going to get into fishing Lake Ontario, Lake Michigan, salmon fishing, these dual frequency transducers are very popular, cost effective like I mentioned before, and they mark fish very well. I've got pictures of my Humminbird with a 600 watt dual frequency transducer. I can mark my flasher that's behind my downrigger ball. That's down 200 feet, which I think is pretty impressive. Most people are not going to be fishing that deep. Got a nice hook right here on the screen. A salmon or a lake trout there, but those are the basic setups, guys. Any questions, feel free to drop a comment below. I am well versed in both the Solix and the HELIX fish finders. I've run them for years. If you have any issues, just give me a holler and I can help you tweak them, but you'll be very satisfied with the Humminbird product with an Airmar transducer if you are fishing the Great Lakes. Thanks for watching, guys.